I'm Elena, and right now, I'm in grief. My heart felt so heavy that I was unable to control it. It's been 3 days since I started sobbing. My body feels so weak, and my eyes are so puffy. I'm sending my hubby to his last destination in a few hours. His burial is today, and it still amazes me that I would survive to witness my husband's passing and interment in his cemetery. He was a warrior, and I can honestly state that he passed away from cancer. He battled the sickness so valiantly, and he told me he wanted to live right up to the very end. But the illness claimed his life. It separated me from him. I was in complete shock. For 2 years, I was at his side, and we both tried our best to improve his health. All of this, though, was probably supposed to happen. My spouse was and will always be my love. I will always remember him. Every time I thought about our wonderful times together, the dates, laughs, talks, kisses, and hugs, my eyes would not stop welling up with tears. These memories shatter my heart 1,000,000 times over. Without him, I have no idea how I would survive in this world. I'm completely lost. Apart from that, he placed me in charge of a business, and he was unable to get me ready for the fact that I would be the one taking over the firm. Who would have guessed he would pass away from this life at such a young age? Positively speaking, my spouse didn't leave me without anything. In his last will and testament, which he prepared before confining himself to the hospital, he said that all of his belongings will pass to me. But my desire for him cannot be satisfied by these worldly possessions. My heart fell as soon as we got to the wedding. I was in shock that I would have to bury my spouse today. Somber mourners paying their condolences during the burial procedures. I was sobbing and standing beside my husband's coffin like a devastated widow. I couldn't let go of its edge, so I grabbed onto it fiercely. My relatives and friends encircled me and offered words of comfort. My friends and family did everything they could to console me, giving me hugs and encouraging words. My spouse was dropped into the earth following the mass. My body gave out every time he was lowered, and I sobbed uncontrollably. When my spouse was eventually laid to rest, there was an outpouring of compassion. One of my best pals approached me and hugged me tightly. "I'm so sad for your loss, Elena. David was a fantastic man who will be sorely missed. I'm really proud of you for being a devoted and loving wife." The word wife made my tears fall more heavily. My spouse would never refer to me in that manner again. He would never speak to me in the same way. All I could say was, thank you for being here. I was really appreciative to everyone who expressed sympathy and came to support me, particularly during one of the darkest times in my life. "Elena, we're here to help. Depend on us at all times. We'll get through this together," said a different buddy who came up to me and hugged me tightly. I nodded, letting her know how much I appreciated her sincere care. The compassion and kindness I had been getting seemed like a gleam of light in the middle of the darkness. Despite the awful feeling within, Sophia, my cousin, also expressed her compassion to me. "Elena, please let us know if there is anything at all that we can do to help. We will always be there for you because we are a family," she said. "I sincerely appreciate your kindness toward me. You are here for me when I need you." She took my hand and gave it a little squeeze. "Obviously, we are related. I understand that your brother and mother are in the States and were unable to attend today, but don't worry, I'm here to reassure you that you are not alone." She gave me a quick kiss on the cheek before leaving the arena. My brother and mother are missed. I wish they could be here with me right now. They are the people who know me best and are closest to my heart. Therefore, I've always wanted them to console me. My mother runs a tiny cafe in downtown New York and lives with her brother, who works as a computer scientist there. Due to my brother's crucial assignment for a major customer, they were unable to attend. They had always wanted the two of us to come to the United States, but we were adamant about starting a family in this nation. I have no relatives around to turn to, thus I am alone myself right now. I'm grateful for their assistance. It has great significance. As I sat down and began to gently absorb the reality that my spouse was no longer with me, I could still feel my body trembling. My mother-in-law, Patricia, was walking toward my husband's grave when I noticed her in my peripheral vision. Although she approached me with a dejected face, I wasn't blind to the sense of dishonesty in her gaze. She forced a phony grin. "She can feign really well. Elena, my love, I'm sad about your passing. David was a kind guy. My heart bleeds for my son's passing since he was everything to me. I was incredibly in love with him." I couldn't stand the false words pouring out of her lips, so I wanted to leave her chatting to herself. She lied about everything she stated. David would still be alive today if she had genuinely loved and cared for her kid. I could still clearly recall all the times we attempted to ask her for spiritual and financial support for David's procedures, but she was too haughty and conceited to oblige us, only because they weren't feeling well. And why did the two of them argue? David made the decision that we should vacate their home, which infuriated my mother-in-law. She believed that I had persuaded him to make that choice, but the true reasons we parted were her poisonous behavior and mistreatment of David and myself. I gave a slender smile. "Patricia, thank you. We are grateful for your warm words." She simply flashed me another phony smile. My sister-in-law, Chloe, her daughter, came to see us, and like her mother, she put up a brave face. "Elena, the loss of David has crushed us. Do not hesitate to seek for assistance if there is anything we can do to help." I was sick of her pretense. She resembled her mother exactly. She had disregarded our requests for financial support. Furthermore, throughout the whole funeral, I didn't witness one of them cry or even show signs of mourning. They lacked compassion so much. All I could do was tolerate their foolishness. I replied by nodding. "Thank you, Chloe. I'll keep that in mind." I felt suddenly apprehensive about Patricia and Chloe after they left. Their actions raised doubts in my mind. I caught sight of the pair conversing in hushed tones while standing in the corner. I was occupied taking care of other visitors and entertaining them, while also attempting to gather my thoughts and control my impulsive outbursts of emotion. However, I chose to listen in on their talk since I was drawn to them by their appearance. As Patricia and Chloe stood there whispering to one another, I drew closer to them in silence. They were so preoccupied with their chat that they were unaware that I was listening in. "We'll have access to all of their money as soon as Elena leaves the picture. We'll have a luxurious life," my mother-in-law said. My shut eyes became larger. Chloe laughed. "God, I am so excited. Nothing will remain for Elena, and we shall relish every second of her suffering. David has worked so hard to earn us everything, and we will receive it all. He's your brother as well as mine. Regarding his money and belongings, we are fully entitled." Well, it's his money, earned the hard way. That girl was a freeloader, simply useless and dumb, my mother-in-law said. She made fun of me and laughed. "So, Mom, how are we going to obtain the funds?" Chloe questioned with a cheeky smile. "I know if she won't give it to us." "I'm aware of your brother's phone password," my mother-in-law said. "I have access to his e-wallet, and he detests making bank deposits." I heard about their evil scheme, and my heart fell. They had been waiting for my husband's passing the entire time, prepared to seize all he had laboriously toiled for. They were wicked. It ouched to hear them call me a freeloader. I never relied financially on my hubby. I created myself on my own. My heart was filled with resolve and anger. Having now come to terms with their motives, I made an effort to remain calm. Taking a big breath, I realized that when the time came, I had to face them and demand justice. I verified all of our e-wallets as soon as I got home and moved the funds to our bank account. I put in every last piece of real money I owned. I had to outsmart and outthink them. I made the decision to sleep well that night since I knew I had everything under control. I had no doubts that our hard-earned money would be secure when I woke up the next morning. I got up early the following day and checked my account right away. I was shaking from the strain of trying to log in. What was taking place? When I kept getting denied access to my account despite my repeated attempts, I became really anxious. I attempted to log in on several devices, but to no avail. I sat at my desk, terrified yet determined. Last night, I was positive that I had everything secured. Negative ideas were all over my head. No, this is not possible. A pop-up appeared on my screen while I was going over our financial records and attempting to figure out why our money had vanished so quickly. No access allowed. You typed in your previous password. As you modified it 4 hours ago, you can establish a new one after 30 days. I touched my face with my palms. Their account was compromised. Tears ran down my face from fear and hatred. I could not bear to bury my spouse and to lose what we had worked so hard for in only 2 days. I heard a big smash at the front door all of a sudden. I raced home to witness my sister-in-law and mother-in-law breaking into my home. "What are you doing?" I shouted. Chloe laughed, just like Patricia did. "Well, we're aware that you've already deduced that we're in possession of all the funds." "Yes, sweetie, we're also taking this house, and I'm sorry to tell you that." Chloe laughed and took a seat on my couch, caressing the fabric with her hands. "Ah yes, this will be mine." Grinning, Patricia started to go around the living area, taking possession of everything. "Will you just stop treating me like this? Please return our money to me," I begged. "Why would we do that, poor girl?" "My kid is dead because of you," Patricia said icily. I was taken aback by her charge. What topic was she discussing? That was really absurd. "That is untrue. I stuck with him no matter what, even if you two disregarded our pleas for assistance. Do you recall the occasions when I knocked on your home to seek for assistance for your son, and you simply ignored me? Your brutality was the cause of his demise." My mother-in-law gave me a forceful smack. I was unable to sense the agony. Chloe pulled me to the ground while grabbing my hair. She said, "You have no right to talk to us like that." "I was just expressing the truth," I answered. Chloe's angry face twisted as she kicked me and yanked my hair up. "You ought to be by yourself in this world. You're a mess and a shame. My brother abandoned you for that reason." I was thrown to the ground and taken outside by her. "Please don't return to this house. You have no right here since it is now ours. You, Morin, go mend your ruined life." With a loud bang, she closed the door behind her, drawing neighbors outside to exchange whispers. I sensed their criticism. I had no idea what to do. I was inconsolable. I wanted my hubby was here to keep an eye on me. Despite the discomfort from my fall, I was able to get up and move on. I didn't have any money or a phone with me. I was bewildered and very terrified. I kept walking till I came to a phone booth and realized my brother's number. I was lucky that the booth provided free international calling. I phoned the number, and he answered after a few rings. "Hello, Marco here." "Who is this?" "Marco, oh my God, it's me, Elena." I started crying because I was unable to suppress my feelings. "Elena? Hi, how are you doing? Why are you using this number to call? Are you okay? Please provide a hand. Chloe and Patricia broke into our home and compromised my account. They took all of our money." "Not at all. Where are you at this moment?" "I live in the open. I have no idea where to go. I have no money at all." "Okay, tell me about the location. I'll give Sophia a call, and she will come get you." "Do you get it?" "Yes." He assured me that Sophia would arrive in a short while after I told him where I was. I stood in the sun for about 30 minutes, feeling weak and on the verge of giving up. Hope finally broke through when I noticed Sophia driving over. She gave me an embrace and I instantly passed out. When I awoke, Sophia was covering me with a blanket. "What happened?" I questioned haltingly. "You fainted. For now, take it easy. We will discuss when you recover." I did as she said, ate, took my medication, and went to bed. While my brother was on FaceTime, I told Sophia everything when I felt more confident. Marco was occupied with his computer, as I had explained. He let out a gasp. He cried out, "This can't be possible. What is it? They were my clients. I couldn't figure it out. How? Their true names were not used. You mentioned things that seemed familiar, so I checked right away. I was correct when I said that your sister-in-law and mother-in-law wanted me to fix a system that was linked to your bank account. I am entirely to blame for this. No, Marco, you too were a victim. However, we must pursue justice. For their savagery, they ought to pay a price. Sophia concurred. They can't get away with this. The issue was that we lacked any evidence. Be at ease, Marco assured everyone. I'm on it. We spent 2 days working non-stop to obtain proof. Marco was working on the opposite side of the screen, and Sophia was helping me. We continued to monitor our development via video calls. Marco was sitting in front of his computer, with several displays showing code on them. With a frantic fury, he continued to examine the facts. I inquired, "Any progress?" "Yes, Elena. I have a good deal of proof." I was able to access their email accounts and saw exchanges where they talked about their plans. He presented me with the money transactions and damning emails between Patricia and Chloe. The work of my brother astounded me. I said, they thought they could get away with this. As my determination grew, we need to expose them. The three of us collaborated on a strategy later that evening. We created a strong statement to go along with the proof in an effort to get support and notice from the general public. "We're all set," Marco declared. "I'll post everything on social media and make sure the world knows." I felt uneasy. "Are you sure?" "Yes, Elena. We must pursue justice and increase awareness." Sophia and I headed to a coffee shop the following day, excitedly anticipating the outcome of our strategy. What if no one pays attention? Nervous, I asked. "Never fear. We have recruited the help of pals with well-known social media profiles. It'll get around like wildfire," Sophia told me. The TV music abruptly changed to a breaking news story. Sophia and I were shocked to see the anchors covering the controversy, showcasing the faces of Patricia and Chloe together with the supporting documentation. We had no idea that our post had already gained a lot of attention. The public was incensed and the police became engaged. I got a call from the police department. Chloe and Patricia had been placed under arrest. With shocked expressions on their faces, Patricia and Chloe were brought inside the police station while we watched the news. There was a great media frenzy. Reporters yelled questions, but Patricia didn't answer, and Chloe seemed overtaken by the weight of their deeds. I talked to my brother once I got home. He declared, "Danny, justice will be served." I grinned and my mom showed up on the TV shortly after. I sobbed uncontrollably when I saw her. Unhappy with my life right now. Even though I miss my spouse, I'm confident that being independent will help me develop and get better.